The worst thing that can happen during a night out is realizing you've been ripped off. Learning to spot these subtle tactics can help protect your wallet while giving you greater confidence in what ends up on your plate. Here are some of the sneaky methods restaurants may use to get customers to spend more. Steak enthusiasts often rave about Kobe beef, widely regarded as one of the most luxurious and prized types of beef in the world. Hailing from Japan, this meat comes from carefully raised cattle, with producers placing enormous emphasis on how the animals are cared for and how the beef is produced. With that level of attention, a hefty price tag certainly seems understandable. Kobe beef is also subject to such strict regulations that getting the authentic product outside Japan is extremely challenging, which explains why it's absent from so many restaurant menus. If you happen to see Kobe beef listed at a restaurant, there's a good chance you're looking at something else.
Only 400 pounds per month get shipped to the United States, says Kobe beef distributor Brent Nakama.
That leaves you with only a small number of upscale restaurants in states such as New York, California, Texas, Nevada, and Hawaii, where you can actually sample the real thing. When you're scanning a menu, be wary of dishes described as Kobe steak or Kobe beef style, and be especially skeptical of Kobe beef burgers or sliders. Chances are very high that what you're getting isn't authentic Kobe beef. Think back to the last time you picked up a box of pasta. You probably paid less than $3 for an entire pound. So what makes a restaurant bowl of noodles worth paying well into the double digits when it may take less than 10 minutes to cook? According to an article from the SF Chronicle, many restaurants price their pasta dishes at roughly 6 to 10 times what the ingredients actually cost them. If that isn't enough to make you rethink your next visit to Olive Garden, consider what restaurants can earn from pizza. An article from Pizza Today reports that pizzerias can pull in profit margins of more than 20% on the dough customers are essentially paying to have baked and served. And the same kind of markup can apply to some of the more expensive offerings on a menu, including seafood. One chef illustrated the point with oysters in an article for Thrillist, admitting $36 to $45 per dozen is absolutely outrageous for an ingredient that requires no culinary skill whatsoever. At that point, you could probably save yourself the money and prepare the same expensive-looking dish at home for a fraction of what you'd pay at a restaurant.
What is your spaghetti policy here?
Ordering a bottle of wine can be an easy way to enjoy a few drinks alongside your meal, but don't assume the price listed on the wine menu necessarily tells you how good the bottle is. In an article for GQ, Alan Richman explains, a willingness to pay a respectable amount for a bottle on a wine list is no guarantee that what you drink will be worth the price. So whatever bargain you believe you're getting from a restaurant's wine list may not actually justify what you're paying for it. To be fair, diners have helped create this profitable setup themselves. It's partly driven by something known as extremeness aversion, a psychological tendency that explains why people frequently choose the second cheapest bottle on the menu. Restaurants and sommeliers are well aware of this behavior, which means those bottles may come with especially hefty markups. Ordering wine by the glass can be an even worse deal, since a few glasses may end up costing more than the entire bottle they came from. And you thought that pasta was expensive?
I think we can agree that all wine tastes the same, and if you spend more than $5 on wine, you are very stupid.
When you're spending about as much on a single restaurant pint as you would on an entire six-pack at the supermarket, the last thing you expect is to get less beer than promised, even if the difference is only a few ounces. Yet serving beer in pint glasses that actually hold less than the standard 16 ounces is surprisingly widespread throughout the restaurant business.
Enjoying a cold glass of beer at the bar has become a tradition in America, but your pint of beer may be coming up a few ounces short.
These glasses can easily pass for standard pint glasses, but they're often made with thicker, heavier glass, which leaves less space for the actual beer. Bars may claim the added thickness helps prevent glasses from breaking, but there's a financial advantage as well. One Hooters executive acknowledged that switching from 16-ounce glasses to 14-ounce versions allows the company to pour about 20 additional beers from a single keg. Want the simplest way to make sure you're receiving all the beer you've paid for? Stick with bottled or canned beers instead. Whenever you order fish at a restaurant, whether it's cooked and served hot or comes as sushi, there's a chance you're not receiving the species you actually paid for. A 2013 study from Oceana found that seafood fraud, essentially the deceptive mislabeling or substitution of fish, was widespread across the United States. The problem was so widespread that 38% of restaurants tested were serving fish under the wrong name. Red snapper and tuna were the most frequently substituted varieties, with fraud rates of 87% and 59% respectively. Even more startling, researchers bought 120 samples labeled as red snapper across the country, and only 7 were actually red snapper. Halibut, cod, Chilean sea bass, and grouper also appeared frequently on the list of commonly misrepresented fish, while salmon was mislabeled in 7% of cases. For diners, detecting the difference between genuine and substituted fish can be nearly impossible once it's been cut and cooked, making it relatively easy to get fooled. According to Eater, one way to reduce the risk is to choose restaurants that serve fish whole. If you're having sushi, meanwhile, consider skipping the rolls. Inexpensive substitutes are much easier to hide beneath layers of rice and avocado. Considering treating yourself to an elaborate dessert after dinner? That impressive-looking sweet may not actually be the handcrafted creation from the pastry chef that you assume it is. In an eye-opening Reddit discussion, chefs were asked to reveal some of the biggest restaurant ripoffs they'd encountered, and apparently that $8.99 slice of cheesecake on your plate could have originated at a grocery store. As one Reddit user explained, most of our desserts are purchased from the Walmart directly across the street, then marked up 500%. Another said, when we run out of cheesecake, someone draws a straw to walk to the Publix across the street to buy more. Of course, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with desserts purchased from the supermarket. As one commenter pointed out, joke's on you, Publix bakery is the sh**. However, if you're hoping your money will get you something truly special, you may end up walking away disappointed.